Long, long ago, in the island of Lanka, south of ancient India, lived the evil King Ravan, whose wicked ambition to conquer and dominate the whole world caused pain and misery to one and all. And in Kaushala, a kingdom in North India, people prospered under the benevolent ruler Dashrath. However, Kaushala's capital, Ayodhya's biggest concern was that King Dashrath had no heir. On the advice of sage Vashishta, King Dashrath performed a yajna, the ceremony to beget a son. And as a result, he was blessed with 4 sons from his 3 queens. One of them was Ram, the hero of this story.
The king of Mithila. He organized a ceremony to find a groom for his lovable daughter Sita. He received a vow from Lord Shiva, which was strong and heavy. He wanted his beautiful daughter Sita to marry the bravest and strongest prince in the country. So he had vowed that he would give Sita in marriage only to the one who could string that great bow of Shiva. Many had tried, but none could even move the bow except Ram.
Lord Rama.
Ram, Lakshman and Vishwamitra. These 3 were present at Raja Janak's assembly. Raja Janak welcomed them with pleasure. The Parshuram was placed. Looking towards the bow, Raja Janak said, "This is Lord Parshuram's bow. Lord Shankar has gifted this to Lord Parshuram. Whoever will lift this bow and put an arrow to it, that person will marry my daughter." After hearing Raja Janak's word, everybody was thinking this and kept quiet. Seeing this, Raja Janak felt very much surprised. He said, "What happened? Why is nobody coming forward?" On hearing this, Lanka's king Ravana got up and said in a thundering voice, "Why not? The king of Lanka is here. I will put the arrow to this bow." Ravana came forward and stood before the bow with his great ego. He examined the bow very carefully. He tried to lift the bow with a single hand, but what is this? The bow was fixed in its place. Ravana became exhausted in his attempts. He again made another try. This time he planned to lift the bow in any case. But there was a surprise, and he fell down in the attempt, and blood started flowing out of his nose, and he got injuries, and Sip got up. Who comes to say something? Before he starts to say anything, Vishwamitra ordered Ram to go forward and lift the bow. Ram got up immediately. He paid a salute to Vishwamitra and stood near the bow in great humility. First of all, he saluted that bow, and then, within no time, he picked up the bow in his hand with great ease and started to put an arrow in it. But what is this? The huge bow had broken into pieces with a great bang. It divided into 2. Even Sita was smiling. She slowly came forward very modestly and offered her garland to Ram. Sita selected Ram as a husband. Ram also did the same and garlanded her.
Admitted to offer those boons.
of mine. You must grant me those 2 boons now.
Only 2 boons? You can have more if you want.
No, I don't need more than 2. The first is...
No, I cannot grant you those, Kay, not those. I'll give you all my wealth. Will that please you?
No. Do you want it to be known that a king of the solar dynasty went back on his word? I will be content with only those 2 boons.
The boons were 1. Kaikai's son Bharat to be made king, and 2. Ram to be banished to the forests for 14 years.
After hearing the boons, Ram accepted to go to the forest for 14 years.
Brother, can you not hear the people's voices?
This is part of my fate.
But are we, on that account, to sit still and do nothing? This sword, is it only an ornament, just an actor's plaything?
Brother, you are part of myself, sharing the same soul with me. Please, try to understand me.
My lord, I'm coming with you.
But Sita, you...
A husband's duty is his wife's too. Your fate is equally mine.
That's right. And the same soul should follow the same fate. And so, brother, I too am coming with you.
Later, King Dashrath passed away, and Kaikai's son, Bharat, was not willing to rule the kingdom on his own. He was against his mother Kaikai's decision and went to forest to convince his elder brother Ram and make him to rule the kingdom.
What are you saying, Bharat? Our father is dead?
Brother, forgive your son, please. Ram, I appeal to you. Absolve me of my mother's sin. Come back to Ayodhya and accept the kingdom which is yours by right.
Bharat, what your mother has done is not in question here. Remember, the great Emperor Dashrath has commanded us. You to rule the kingdom, and I to live in this forest for 14 years. It is our duty to abide by our father's wishes, whether we like it or not.
You have commanded me. It is enough. But one thing is certain. I will not accept the kingdom for myself, but for you. Please bless this brother of yours to rule the kingdom with strength and courage.
Srupnakha is the sister of Lanka's King Ravan. She used to come to forest to meet the tribal people. That's the time when she met Ram.
Lady comes to Panchavati to entice Ram.
I am Shurpanakha. You're so beautiful, strong, and handsome. I have decided to marry.
Your wish would be my command were it not for my wife Sita there. Why don't you approach my brother Lakshman? He's also very handsome and very strong.
He's handsome too.
I speak with your interests at heart. I'm only second to Ram, and I don't think you're the kind to settle for second best.
Yes, you are right. I am the kind to settle only for the very best.
Come. I'll introduce you to. This is my wife, Sita. You mean that puny prince from Ayodhya? Is he the one who attacked you?
That was you, God.
After the Kusanaka complained to his brother Ravan, Ravan sent demon.
Golden deer. On seeing the golden deer, Sita was impressed and sent Ram to get that deer. Since Ram did not come for a long time, she sent Lakshman to find Ram. Meanwhile, knowing that Sita is alone, Ravan appeared in front of Sita.
And then Ravana came back in his original form. He quickly lifted up Sita, put her over his shoulder, and took her to Lanka in his flying chariot. Sita started crying and was calling Sri Ram loudly. Now Ravana was feeling very happy. When she was calling Ram loudly, at that time Ravana laughed and said, "Why are you shouting like this, Sita? Now there is no use of it."
Ravan took Sita to Lanka. Maruti, also known as Hanuman, met Ram and Lakshman and came to know that Sita was missing.
Maruti asked Ram about his life. Ram told him the whole story. Then Maruti felt a great sense of devotion towards Ram in his heart. Maruti helped Sugriva and Rama. Maruti had the responsibility of searching for Sita. He started his journey towards Lanka. He found a huge sea on the way. To cross over that sea, he made himself larger and crossed the sea. Maruti slowly got down from the tree. Joining both his hands, he said, "Mate, I'm Sri Ram's servant. Your Lord is fine. He will soon come here, kill that cruel Ravana, and release you. Please don't worry." Sita said, "Maruti, you must be tired." Maruti said, "Mate, I'm not tired, but while finding you in Lanka, I had to work very hard, and therefore back to Sri Ram." He saluted Ram and told him everything that happened. Ram looked at him with pride in his eyes. Ram, Lakshman, Sugriva, Maruti, and an army of numerous monkeys started preparation to attack Lanka and bring back Mata Sita.
Ram, Lakshman, and Maruti now went to Lanka to have a war with Ravan and get back Sita.
There was a great devastation after this war. The demigods gathered in the sky and were looking over the war as in the battlefield. Then Ram chopped off the head of Ravana. He burst, and a stream of holy water started flowing out. Ravana fell down to the earth and died. Thus, the greatest demon of the world was dead. The monkey army praised Sri Ram. The praises and applauses of Sri Ram echoed in all three lokas. Jai Sri Ram, Jai Sri Ram, Jai Sri Ram, Jai Sri Ram.
A world celebrates the safe return of their beloved king and will live happily thereafter. A few years later, Ram returns to the heavens and Sita returns to Mother Earth.
The universe, let this day be called Diwali, the festival of lights and happiness.